The serve in the air, Orge goes back, Vargas over Doug. Outside, Karakurt, there's the 1-2 punch that we've become so familiar with.
And if you've been following international volleyball for a little while, you'll know Karakurt started as an opposite, and once Melissa Vargas got in the team, she kind of shifted her way to outside, so she's learned this brand new position, and now Türkiye are even stronger because they have those two very solid players on each pin.
Yeah, this is her third year playing outside only, and it's really impressive. Wada going at high hands. I think we'll see a lot of that today. Ojima, the defensive libero. We always talk about high hands being attacked, and today it's absolutely got to be Japan's plan.
And you can see it just if you, with your eyes, look at the court, the height difference, that Türkiye has that advantage. So the players from Japan have to go off the fingertips. They're not going to want to go into the meat of the block.
As you talked about it, Türkiye's average height, 184, for Japan, 174. Age-wise, about the same in experience, 25 and 26. Here is Mayu Ishikawa, who you talked about in the open. Back to Vargas again. No touch on the block. That was all tape. Point Japan.
One of the keys for this Turkish side has to be patience. You know that Japan's going to defense a lot. They got to reduce their errors on their own side.
Ishikawa's serve, powerful, goes at Karakurt. Really nice, what a dig! That's a fantastic dig by Fukudome.
This is what Japan do. They pop the ball up that you have no expectation of coming back up. And then Yoshino with a beautiful slice down the line.
Ishikawa's service run continues. They're going after Karakurt relentlessly right now.
And there have been matches where she's really held her own and you wouldn't even know that she's just turned in an outside recently. But there are also, I've seen her play matches where she can completely crumble. So the question is, which way is she gonna go?
Block is huge. Erkek shut down.
Erkek, one of the smaller attackers on Türkiye's side, so she has to play a smart game just like Japan do. She can't afford, especially when that ball's way high and out of system, to swing straight into the arms of the middle blocker.
Gunesh, kind of a defensive, like, save my face play, but stop for a second, and that'll be a quick timeout. First one taken by Türkiye today.
No, I don't want the ball here. We can go base 7. If the pass is exclamative, put the ball, please close the net. I don't close, I don't close. You search here, and you search here. For which reason? High ball, how many times we want? Wait, you did one tip, and then they did one mistake, is right? And then they play one high ball, and we close the line. Order!
Let's go!
You'll hear a lot of Italian coaches say to their players, don't close. And in English, that's kind of hard to translate, but it effectively means don't bring the ball down. Don't cue the day is the translation from Italian. Don't swing down into the block. Swing high off hands.
Little insight from a 10-year pro veteran who played in Italy. They're always helpful, Key.
Well, especially because when you think about it from a blocking perspective, you want to close.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You want to close the block. So when you hear a coach saying, don't close, it's a little confusing unless you know the context.
Thank you for the context.
Of course.
Ishikawa continues. Off tape, they continue to go after Karakurt. Vargas, off hands. That'll end a nice run by Ishikawa.
If you look at a player like Vargas, one of her strengths is her jump and her reach height, so she has to utilize that.
Gunesh. No libero on the floor right now for Japan in this rotation. Airi comes in. Ball over the top by Erkek, picked up. Yoshino, and then finished through the middle. Well done by Shimamura.
I like that idea to tip by Turkey, but it was just too high, and it's so easy to read for the Japan's defense to turn that into an offense.
Karakurt in the center of the serve receive. They continue. Vargas. Whip of an arm, that's the power.
That was a confident pass by Karakurt. She steps in front of her libero to take the ball. It works out fine, and Vargas doing what she does well.
And she has been so impressive, Karakurt, and she still plays opposite in her club. Over in Russia she did. Next year, of course, she'll be going to Edzajabusha, and so we'll see.
Turkey really can't afford to give any of these free points to Japan because of the way Japan plays so clean. That's something Turkey need to cut down on, but it's kind of part of their style of play. They're high risk, high reward team.
Yeah, very different styles, as you guys touched upon earlier. We saw the same thing with Japan and Poland, where, excuse me, with China and Poland. China, you know, low error, and Poland still made more errors than China in the match, but prevailed. Here is Yaprak Erkek, who again played last season for Ferhat Akbas. Pass is perfect. Vargas on the floor. Karakurt, that's where she feels at home.
Yeah, comfortable swing for Karakurt, and she looked like she was really aggressive with it, which you have to see from this Turkish side. Again, that's their style, going aggressive, but just by an inch missing it.
Yoshino Sata. Again, until they find an answer for her.
And I love Cansu Özbey going right back to her. You got to use a player like this. You can't let her get in her own head, and that's a perfect set for her. It's got the height, it's a little slow, but she can use that physicality against Japan.
Manami Kojima in the center of Japan's serve receive. She dimes the pass. Ishikawa, too much power and back third of the court.
Yeah, you're not going to see this Japanese team target the 3-meter line. That's just not what they do. They are clever. That first contact, absolutely perfect. So the speed is added by the setter. And once the blockers get out there, the ball's already almost gone.
To the center. Zara Gunesh just turns it a little too wide.
And the error is starting to rack up in the offense. You see when Turkey try to add a bit of speed, how things look a little bit forced.
Pass and then to the middle.
So if you're Japan right now, and I'm sure this is already part of the scouting report, repeat set is coming from Özbey. She likes to just feed her hitter that's made the mistake. She'll give that ball right back to her, and Ari can commit block almost on that.
Again, the errors playing into Japan's hands. Nanami Seki serving. Ooh, absorbed by Fukudome, but out.
Bit of power paying off there. Look how far Karakurt has to jump. That set is almost in the center of the court, so she does a great job to get her feet there, so she's still hitting at her peak.
Karakurt serving. Down the line, the passing of Japan is allowing them to run whatever they'd like.
Yeah, you just don't know where to serve when you're playing a team like Japan. The libero is obviously phenomenal, but there just aren't any weak zones. And this ball, like we mentioned, they'll sprinkle in some backcourt like this, and the blockers are already kind of pulling in different directions. They're not expecting that.
Ishikawa again. She, of course, spurred that big service run earlier. Vargas this time, though, down the line and gets Ishikawa off that service line.
Yeah, that's huge. Getting Ishikawa off. She's the best server of their team. You don't want to let her get on any runs here. So Vargas targeting that straight down the line. Love that external rotation with her shoulder.
Pass perfect. Over. Yeah, no more opportunities. Outside again. Oh. ID with the dig and then shut down. That's the big block of Vargas. It's a shadow.
Yeah, I almost feel like Turkey got a little lucky there because, again, the scoop in the backcourt that no one's expecting. That ball just tight, and that's not Japan's game. They don't want that ball too tight at the net because that's advantage to the blockers every time. You can try and turn it out with your hand and your wrist, but just difficult.
Down by 5, set 1. Vargas, serve is too long. As Vargas leaves the court, that brings in Özdemir, number 13 for Türkiye. She is a setter, 19 years old. Brought back in, Ishikawa. Backcourt, such control. Free ball, well placed. Yoshina picked up. Still in play, it's gotta be a big swing. It was, but don't think it's over. Yoshino off hands to finish.
Huge defensive play by Japan. No surprise there, but there have already been a couple of changes that are really exciting on Turkey's side. One of them, they're bringing in Karatasu, who was top scorer of the VNL in the first week. Even she can't get through.
If we stay in order, we respect the position. Now they do point because we move the platform. And we can do the same, girls. Show me this. Until now, you want to attack strong, strong, strong. What I told you. The ball is close, attack strong. The ball is not close, put the ball in the center of the court. The other things are order on block. And quick. Okay, 5-1.
A look at the win prediction, flipping and flipping again. Of course, Danielle Santarelli always has a lot of passion. Right before the break you mentioned, or before the timeout, Karatasu being the leading scorer. Yeah, she had 38 points versus China. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and we didn't see her after that first week, so the other players got a chance to get in, but I'm really excited to watch her today.
There's a break out of the timeout. Smaller front line right now for Türkiye. In a way, a smaller front line could help rather than having the ball go off of Vargas and Karakurt's hands right now.
I guess that's the plan. That's to see if they can maybe make a little bit more of a disciplined block than we were seeing earlier on Turkey's side.
On the joust, Malach. There she is to the side. Yoshino off hands, picked up, great up. Another opportunity for Japan. And through the middle, Ishikawa.
Japan are just giving no breaks to Türkiye at the moment. They are going harder and more aggressive in their defense, even just popping things up that you have no idea are going to come up, and they go back at you again and again. And Karacasu, they're just a little ill-disciplined in her finish.
Powerful serve. From the outside, chased down by Fukudome and set. Ishikawa turns down the line, too wide.
Finally, a break for Türkiye with no block up on the net. Ishikawa trying to slice it a little bit too sharp.
Just out. So looking at Türkiye's players saying it's in, there's no arguing this. Bolt 6 will show you exactly where that ball landed.
Yeah, the problem with that ball landing out is that's the 5th service error that Türkiye have handed to Japan. And we talked about this team not needing any free points, essentially. They're going to frustrate Türkiye. They got to take those opportunities to get that ball in.
Favor returned. As Karutasu serves, Manami Kojima back in to receive. She's on the right side of the court. Well, the service errors continue.
It's understandable because when you're going up against a team like Japan, who right now are passing at 62% positive in their reception, you know you have to put a little extra spice on it, but gotta cut down that error ratio.
Pass is perfect. Uzbai goes to the middle.
Great timing by Güneş. You see how she's up in the air, almost just waiting for that ball from her setter. You have to use that kind of speed in the middle.
Baladine serve to the center back. Ishikawa. We talked about the discipline of the block.
Yeah, it's harder than it looks to play disciplined against a team like this, because we talked about the zones of the net, and this changes everything. Now Güneş becomes the set blocker, and Vargas has to close to her, and it's just a slightly different dynamic.
Pass is perfect. All options available, and Güneş ends it. Güneş, the best middle blocker in the 2024 European Championships.
Yeah, she's been phenomenal over the last decade. I've been watching her, but her efficiency in this particular tournament, she's only at 37%, 2 attack points per match on average. I think they can use her a lot more.
Solid dig from the back line, quick behind. Yoshino unloads cross court.
Even when there's a perfectly formed block, the hitters of Japan have great court vision. Look at the timing of the blockers of Türkiye. That's pretty much picture perfect, and he's still able to find an angle.
Yoshino double-figure scoring in 9 of 12 matches through the preliminary rounds. Aidi with an ace.
It comes off with absolutely no spin, drops out of the air, and it's between 2 players. Baladin taking a step, not enough.
To the middle again, turned the other way.
I love Osprey using her middles when she can, because the passing hasn't been perfect on Türkiye's side. So as soon as you get those balls in, she has to establish that zone so she doesn't get too pin heavy.
And she does to Azli Kalac. Picked up as it dabbled on the net. Yoshino, tight ball, just a tough one all around.
There's the serve we've come to expect from Vargas. The first time we've really seen Japan kind of out of sorts from their reception.
Melissa Vargas from the end line again. Power. Yoshino, send it back. Vargas gets to serve again.
And that's possibly the most important part. Yes, it's a good block and a point, and again, the blockers having to adjust to that inside ball. They're really disciplined in the air.
Japan calls their first timeout.
Girls, make sure difficult moment, you can't be in front of Vargas, right? Okay, they are waiting, there is always a gap in between. So different corridor, always good, okay? See quick, as much as we can. Transition, make sure left and right side slow after this moment. Just one pass, let's go.
Few people are more terrifying from that end line with Vargas. The way that she has a beautiful draw, we'll just watch it during this serve receive. I mean, during this service. Good timeout by coach.
Yeah, coach's point, but I was watching it as well, and I've seen so many photos, still photos of Vargas mid-air, and she has probably the best form I think I've seen in terms of that arm being pulled back like a bow and arrow, completely bending her body, contorting to put all her power into it.
I feel like it gives the opponents too much time to think about it, like, oh, here it comes.
Yeah.
Outside. No question about that one from Erkek.
Bold swing from Erkek. She's searching for the seam there. And again, Türkiye have to try and find their height, beat the block, try not to bring it down into that zone. Does work there, though.
Erkek serve again. Yoshino. What a beautiful set. Here it comes again, strong, quick, to the outside. Yoshino eats it up, great dig. Vargas takes something off of it, and I think it froze Japan's defense.
Yeah, they're so used to seeing her come full throttle at them that a little roll shot in between two receivers in the backcourt just gives them too much time to think, if anything.
Erkek again. Averages over 8 points per match through the preliminary rounds. So pretty, coming behind for that kill.
To take forward in the next set.
Ande Baladine, first serve of the second set. Out to Ishikawa, off hands as we have seen. Gunesh, she worked hard to get around that ball long.
Yeah, this is one of the hardest rotations for a middle blocker. You're pinched in on the right side. You've got your opposite in front of you. You've got to get around the setter, especially if the ball comes from that direction over your shoulder.
Yep, and she got a touch on the block. So it's like, okay, touch and come back. Ishikawa had a service run in the first set. Hop back in. Here's a free ball to Türkiye. Uzbay goes outside. That's been the hot hand as of late. Yaprak Erkek.
Again, Uzbay with the repeat set, first of all, and Japan were all over it. They figure out that that ball's going there, and they're in the right spots. Again, hustle defense as per usual. But I'm loving Erkek getting some speed as well to meet the block. Beat the block.
Japanese players looking for some wish to be wiped up. Owl girls getting their steps in. 1-1, second set. Center the serve receive, Manami Kojima. Good save, Heidi tries a little something different from the middle, Vargas. Well passed. It's up. What a set. Heidi sent back by Kalac.
Great discipline by Kalac there. She hangs in the middle till the last minute. She's not getting sucked into moving left to right, because that can be one of the, as you're a middle blocker, you get frustrated with the speed of an offense. Sometimes you can disappear quickly, but she hangs with her middle.
Gunesh, they're keeping the ball on Yoshino for now. There's the block, it's big.
Kalac is using really great court awareness in the front by the net right now. She is recognizing when to stay in the middle and when to hustle and get there to the outside and close up that gap.
Türkiye outblocking Japan 4-1. Yoshino. No touch heading out. Türkiye looking much stronger in this second set in the start, and it will be a timeout for Japan.
So even the bodies B-pass, we need to insist with second line Maha, okay? So if the ball is B-pass, still they are late, okay? So either you can try all the time, okay? So girls, when we have free ball, see quick, change the call, okay? And make sure no easy mistake, let's go.
Okay.
Well, as a middle blocker, I know you liked the end of that one.
Yeah, he's given a lot of information to his blockers, both on offense and defense. That first part was, hey, they're going to be late in block anyway, so as an attacker on the pin, you can bring that back towards the middle, because the middle is going to be reaching to try and close.
Gunesh continues to serve. Kojima, a little bit of trouble. Back set. I love the way she finishes. Kawada.
Good push back. Doesn't get all the way to the pin, and that's the trouble there for the Turkish blockers. See, they're going past it. See Kalac saying, hey, stop inside a little bit.
Trouble ball going to the outside. Block is set up. Heidi with the dig. Yoshino, just too hot to handle.
Santarelli watching on in disbelief, because even an out-of-system play like this, and it looks like the blockers are perfectly there, they are set up, but again, it's those zones of the net, the movement that's really frustrating the block.
Perfect pass. Yoshino again, just that block, it's solid. Shimamura digs. Watch the work that Kalac is doing. Yoshino, Kalac goes back and forth several times with the block.
What a payoff for Kalac. You called it. She was moving left, right. It was like a dance move out there, choreographed, but she finally gets one that goes back down and stays down, because Japan were covering. They were recycling a lot of balls there, so that's the key for Türkiye. Discipline and be patient until you can get that last one.
I'm watching her try to catch her breath right now.
Yeah.
She laid it all out. Vargas. As you called it earlier, it's a go big or go home.
Yeah, well, that's the key to this match as well. It really is. Go big or go home.
Well,
it's the
that's
last
true.
chance saloon for both these teams.
Yuki Kawada averages 15 points per match through the preliminary rounds. Here she is serving. Outside again. Air kick. Just wide. And Türkiye is saying, we think there was a touch. And in fact, there was a touch called, so point Türkiye. They continue to lead 6-4. Very tough serve. No touch on that one called, and Baladine sends it out. Türkiye is saying, I think there was, and they're going to use one of their 2 challenges per set.
Yeah, Santorelli was immediate in that call, but I feel as though he trusts Baladin more maybe than any player to get those touches. She's one of the craftier players out there, so if she doesn't have a swing at it, you will see her put tips and rolls, but if she looks like she's got a finger to go for, she'll go for it.
Baladin, one of those players who played for Ferhat Akbas during her club season. She's now moving to Fenerbahce next season. All right, getting it going early on. Everybody getting their cardio work in the stands.
It must be so quiet in here for the Turkish players. I was with them in Istanbul a couple of weeks ago, and you just can't even hear yourself think in those stadiums because it's packed to the rafters full of fans. So I'm sure they appreciate a handful of them being here in Poland.
There are some Turkish fans enjoying the day. We're waiting as a pending challenge for Türkiye, saying we think that touched the Japanese block. Let's see.
I don't think I see it.
No, neither does the referee. So Türkiye is left with 1 challenge remaining. Japan has both their challenges remaining, but they have just 1 timeout. Türkiye has both timeouts. Well received. Vargas, that's a ripper.
Yeah, Türkiye need a little more of that. She's their go-to for a reason. High ball, a little out of system. She can really slice some angles like that when she gets that ball in her wheelhouse.
Yeah, and Orge, what a beautiful pass by Gizem Orge. Outside, Ishikawa. Off the block and out.
And this is a rotation where the smaller setter on Türkiye's side is front court. So you're gonna see that a lot. Utilizing off the hands. Ishikawa turns down and just targeting that right hand.
She averaged over 13 points per match in the preliminary. Shimamura. Picked up still. What a move. Turkey's power paying off.
Ishikawa caught in no man's land. Still the defense plays out. But Ishikawa not on the advantage there in terms of height.
Pass is solid. Ishikawa, ball going a little outside. She is able to make it work.
Especially in a situation like that, when you're going up against a well-formed tall block, that's the right move. Vargas was ready to eat it for lunch, and somehow Ishikawa comes out on top.
That makes Vargas still hungry then. Back outside. Here's a free ball opportunity. All options available. You got Vargas behind. They go outside again. Beautiful dig by Yoshino. It'll be Ishikawa swinging. Ball is wide. Now Japan making some errors unforced.
Yeah, how about Yoshino sitting in that pocket as well, just popping that ball up. I think Türkiye will appreciate the errors being handed to them, but I don't think they can get too comfortable with that.
Again, beautiful through the middle. Japan now within 1. Ishikawa at the service line. What a dig! Sliding underneath it so quickly. Here comes Wada.
one's a little frustrating if you're Türkiye. If you're able to scoop that first ball out of the net somehow, you gotta get it over.
Back to Vargas. If you're Türkiye, you want to see more of that.
I think Türkiye needs to stick to what works well for them. Again, it really depends on that pass coming in, but if not, you can use Vargas with a little more of a hang time in that ball so she can go up and get it.
Yoshino, that's the challenge when you're that far off.
Yeah, there's kind of a sweet spot in terms of in an out-of-system play. You don't want to put the ball immediately on the net because that block is really difficult to get through. But from 3 meters off, hard to find a shot.
Yeah, hard to find the high hands. I mean, it's a needle in a haystack for some. Yoshino, this time changing speeds. Outside again. That's been your hot ticket. Erkek. Her 5th point.
She's such a dynamic player. You can see she's a little undersized, but springs quickly into the air and has a whip of an arm looking for seams.
Gunesh's serve. It's tough. Seiki is doing magic setting. Vargas. Brought back in by Seiki. Yoshino. Orge chooses to go outside again. And off the hands as she goes. Erkek.
I feel like to Erkek, she's one of the few players you want to add that speed to because she doesn't have the height advantage automatically. She wants to try and beat the blockers with that rapid arm.
Yeah, she stands 1.82 meters. Changes speed, Orge on top of it. Those are the frustrating ones. Look at this lead built by Türkiye. They were tied at 9s.
Yeah, 5-point run because of the discipline we've seen at the block and also the smart decisions in offense. And they've completely cut down on the errors as well.
Substitution for Japan as Wada is out right now. Kitamoto is in, 21 years old, number 30. Yoshino. Okay, that block has been tested quite enough.
Yeah, tested and approved.
Yeah.
Already 5 blocks on the Turkish side just in this set alone. That's a huge difference. That one there 6th, but it's really about them closing and taking away the space that Japan's trying to swing into.
Yeah, Türkiye out blocking Japan 8-1. No free points. And if you're Türkiye, or at least cutting them down, that was what gave them problems at the beginning of set number 1. Japan, of course, taking set 1 if you joined us late. Back to Vargas. It's the angle at which that ball goes down that's so intimidating.
And Türkiye doing a much better job of getting out of rotation quickly, or getting out of a situation quickly. They are on receive, they turn that immediately into a point. They went on that huge string of points with Gunesh at the service line, a middle blocker, didn't even have libero on court. And somehow Japan weren't able to capitalize on that.
Özdemir in now. Number 13, we talked about her before, 19-year-old setter. Off hands, Orge brings it back. Özdemir goes to the middle. Akimoto, her first swing. Oh. Türkiye outlasting Japan in that rally.
Awesome defense on Türkiye's side. Orge at a big part of it. Libero making a change for Türkiye.
Yeah, there was a touch in the block, so if you're looking at the ball out, no.
Faster, try to go faster. Okay, then to go this corridor is not so easy. Okay, line block out try, roll shot try. Okay, we need to change the rhythm. Let's go, let's go. Sena, if you would like to change, set the goal, be quick, A quick.
Our win prediction beginning to cross again. It has been an 8-1 run. What has Türkiye done during this rally to make that happen?
They've cut down on their errors, and they've started serving a lot tougher, which means it's easier for their block.
Akimoto, this time, with power.
So one of the few times that we've seen Japan get past the block in this set without making an error. So those balls have been few and far between.
Brought back into the middle, and I love it. She's going to run the middle again. Akimoto this time off hands. Balach able to cover. Perfect pass up to the net. All options available. A lot of swings coming out of that left side of arms, air kick.
And now we start to see Türkiye playing with different balls. That one dying inside, so you can see air kicks able to go and get it. She ends up on the inside of the block, so that's how she can cut that angle.
Air kick likes the big moments. 15 points versus Brazil, 15 points versus Poland. The biggest matches for her against some very tough opponents. Over and out on that pass, a rare serve receive error. It will be air kick continuing to serve. More serve receive trouble. Akimoto off the block and out, and you can see Garu Tasu saying, dang it.
Yeah, Japan's serve receive is in a bit of a shambles the way Türkiye are serving right now.
Yeah, said with surprise, notably.
Yeah.
And then unforced errors. (20-12). The ball backing up, Kojima. Free ball, air kick, puts it on the money. Utasu dug by Kojima. Kojima again. Ishikawa, that's why Manami Kojima in her pro season at League One Volleyball in the US was best libero and best digger.
Yeah, she calms the situation down a little bit, and that's exactly what Japan need right now is a few more good first contacts, great coverage like that. This is their style of play. Rolling into the hands, recycling the ball, not being impatient.
Good swing. From the backcourt, the block of Türkiye continuing to cause problems. Again and again, Japan trying to find a way through, and they do with Ishikawa.
We talked about having tested that Turkish block. It's officially tested.
Yes.
It's good to go. Japan now looking for different ways to score rather than swinging directly into it, and they're starting to figure it out. Again, both these teams figuring each other out. It's the first time they've met this season.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if it's too late for Japan or not. A large lead still for Türkiye. And an attack out of the middle extends it even further. 7-point lead for Türkiye in set number 2.
Güneş has been so quiet this set. I'd love to see her get a few more balls again.
Kara Utashu serving. Powerful serve. Well passed, quick to ID in the middle. She's able to push it off the block.
Yeah, quick, a little low as well. So the blockers from Türkiye just doing the best to throw their hands in that direction, but they weren't fully closed. It wasn't a fully penetrating block, and that's why they're able to catch those hands off guard.
Double sub as Cansu Erzbay and Melissa Vargas back in for Türkiye. Erzbay immediately outside. Those balls coming up now. To the middle this time, you said it, Gunesh with the money shot.
You gotta feed her when you can, and you could see Özbey clapping to her teammates as that ball came off the hands of the block. It was slowed down, you knew it was gonna be perfect. Absolutely feed the beast, keep establishing that zone because it's not often you're able to use the middle.
Hande Baladin's serve, well passed. Back. Too much from Ishikawa.
Thinking back to set number 1, and you mentioned it, there were 3 players that were all kind of carrying the load. Here in set number 2, it's really only Ishikawa that's really gotten anything going, and even she is struggling at times.
Baladin again, trouble. Kojima brings it back, but they'll have to be careful. Erzbay goes to Vargas, draw and swing. It is now set point. Oh, no, they're calling it a lift.
It's clear.
Okay, lift against Türkiye.
Ooh, oh, yeah, that one's questionable.
Ishikawa's serve, well passed. Go back to the same player as you had mentioned. Erzbay outside. Air kick. Now it is set point, Türkiye.
How about Orge with the flying defense? I mean, that's Japanese-style defense on Türkiye's side to put Türkiye in a perfect position to run their offense.
Gunesh serving for the set. Akimoto, ball out, point Türkiye, and we are even at 1 set apiece in Atlas Arena. Oh wait, not so fast as Japan wants to ask about a block touch. Satisfaction for Türkiye. Delayed or denied, we'll see.
I didn't see anything in real time, but I wonder if Ferhat Akbaş just wanting to chat to his team, slow down the momentum going into the next set. Maybe if this does go their way, they can maybe build on it a couple of points, but yeah, that's what I saw, absolutely nothing.
Satisfaction confirmed, tied up at 1 set apiece in Atlas Arena. What a big change. Key, what stands out to you in that second set?
It's got to be the reception on Japan's side. So that starts with that tough serve that we talked about Türkiye needed to do. They cut down on their service errors massively. So A, they were just getting that ball in more often. Secondly, it was with pace. So you saw a lot of balls off the net on Japan's side. They cut down their reception from about 50% to around 30%. Made it way easier for Türkiye to rack up some blocks. You can see it in the numbers here. 6 blocks to 0, and that is because Türkiye, their blockers at the front court just had a much better time reading. They adjusted to the speed, and it just wasn't quite as fast as they were seeing from the first set.
Never a lack of passion from Danielle Santarelli. Here's the direction of the attacks.
A lot of variety coming from both sides, really. Oh, about almost exactly the same numbers there, but yeah, these two teams, again, it's just so interesting to watch them kind of figure each other out as the match progresses in terms of where they're attacking.
Let's check in with Emily Eamon, who's standing by with Danielle Santarelli.
Coach, what was the biggest difference from your team from set 1 to set 2?
We played two completely different sets. The first with a lot of mistake, a few quality inside out. If with Japan we pass the ball exclamative or negative, it's so difficult. We start with a lot of mistake. I thought about Ande because Ande can give us more quality on side out and also in defense. Now the team plays so good. I'm so happy. I think that we have to push in this way against them because it's really hard to play against Japan. They have so much quality, but we need to be smart. So if we continue with this kind of level, we can play against them. If our number of mistakes go up, it's so tough, believe me.
6 blocks during that set. What was the biggest blocking adjustment from your team that you saw?
Yeah, okay. We know that their quality in attack, in particular with high ball, is not so high. No, we know that they are a good team on block, but we need to stay, for me, more in balance because sometimes we took some ins and out to move a lot of the platform. I don't know. I think that this is the key. I hope.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you so much.
You said earlier how much Danielle Santarelli seems to trust Balladine. He just said it there.
Yeah.
What is it about her that ensures that trust?
Yeah, she can be used in the reception. She's really solid in that, but also, again, crafty when she goes up against a block. She's not trying to score just blindly.
Let's hear from Japan's coach with Emily.
Coach, what was the biggest difference that you want to see your team get back to from set 1?
Yeah, at set 1 we tried to use different corridors of attack and it worked, but after some time they started to adapt this. So we need to find new solutions because our attack percent is low now, 28%. We need to make it better. The rest is okay. We are in the game all the time, defense, rallies, but little bit score is necessary.
What is one change offensively that you'd like to see from your group to find a solution?
Good serve, good serve, good serve.
Perfect. Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
Good serve 3 times, right? He's looking to challenge because Poland has already advanced with their win over China. Fukudome slides in to grab that ball. Wada. We haven't seen as much of Wada as we typically do, considering she averages 15 points per match. Perfect pass. Gunesh through the middle.
I love that choice. Early doors to go, not just to the middle, but to Gunesh in particular, because she is such a dominant middle when she's feeling confident. And it talks a little bit about her numbers so far in this tournament. She can do absolutely game-changing things, but we just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, 11 points in that Turkey or Italy match out of Gunesh. Looked like pinball for a second there.
Japan still looking for different zones, so they were exploited on what they were using earlier on the pins. Now we'll see them use the backcourt a little bit. Gunesh being drawn to go out with her middle a little bit to the front. That could work.
Over. Heidi waited for it perfectly.
I was looking immediately over at Ferhak. He's looking at his player. Remember, he said, good serve,
right.
Good serve, good serve. There's one of them.
He requested at least 3.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. They're 33% there.
Tough ball, going back to Gunesh again. Wada. That's the Wada that they have relied upon in the past. While we look at this, we should say that there was an exciting announcement today that Serena Koga is expecting a child with one of the famous players from Japan's men's team as well, Nishida. So that was fun.
Yeah, we love love. We love love in the volleyball world.
Something to celebrate over there. Turkish point.
Sure, Ishikawa's brother will be part of the celebration as well.
Yep, so congratulations to them. Gunesh through the middle, different zones.
Yeah, I love the creativity that you see out of Japan. If something's not working, they're changing, they're adapting, they're making this play look easy, and Kalac just not expecting it.
Strong first touch. They are working again and again. Kalac through the middle.
She's a totally different style of middle than Güneş. She's a little shorter, has to be dynamic in her last step. Look how she powers off the ground. No blocker in front of her, and she can turn it back deep to that end line.
Vargas. Break for Japan as that ball goes long.
Vargas is one of the players that I called out in the beginning about needing to have her tough serve. We just have not seen it completely at her strength yet. She's had matches where she's had 4 aces, so we know she can do it.
Giving away that opportunity. Seki, first attack by her this match, well timed.
So crafty and sneaky. All the players of Turkey with their heels dug in, looking for a fast ball coming at them. That's perfectly the time. Kalac didn't even have her hands up.
Front court setter for Turkey as well. It's worth noting now, right? Because
yeah, usually when you see one do it, the other one comes pretty quick behind.
There could be a little tit for tat from Cansu Erzbay. Let's see. Kalac. Seki from the back court, choosing it. Ball is out.
Funny, in the second set, because Turkey had cut down on their errors so drastically from 11 to 5, and Japan went from about 6 to 5, it felt like Japan had so many errors, but
yeah, it was just more even.
Yeah.
And in this third set, looking at the score, it looks like these two teams have settled into their game plan. Nothing lopsided here. Seki goes back. Shimomura. Seki again, repeat setter, this time off of Baladin's hands.
Baladin got sucked into chasing that ball out towards the antenna. She wasn't perfectly in control in terms of getting there speed-wise. She throws her hands in that direction, just becomes a target.
Pass is on the money. Love both of those from Gizamorge.
Excellent blocking work by Japan. The movement to get in the right place. And again, Baladin not recognizing the smaller attacker, the small setter, I should say, in front of her. That's the chance to go line or seam.
Shimomura serve, well passed. Baladin, out.
A little bit impatient on Baladin's side.
9 serving 6 3-point run by Japan. Vargas steps on the 3-meter line. She was back court, and that'll be a timeout called by Turkey.
You stay so high. What I don't want to see that you attack in this way without control. Stay high with the setter in this way. Put the ball in the center of the court. Power tip. Now you have double block. We need to be smart. Mile, watch out, because we arrive from 4 mistakes, and now we have to recover. We start with one side out in a smart way, and then we start with defense of quick. Okay?
That win prediction could not be more accurate. Braid going back and forth. I don't know either, Key, in terms of which way this is going to go, and you can tell a little frustration by Santarelli.
Yeah, he's just not loving the way his team is playing in terms of their smarts right now. You see them bring that ball down into the block when they don't need to. They can work on some tips and rolls.
4-point run by Japan. Perfect pass, hit with a feather by Gunesh. It works.
Yeah, the off speed, and you'll also notice Gunesh changed it up, right? She got blocked from right next to the setter, so then they pushed it a little bit, add a little bit of space, so the blockers are then, there's a channel between the blockers they have to reach towards. Feels like the error bug is back on Türkiye's side.
Yeah, the frustration on Cansu Erzbay's face for that one. Little ball. Whoa. Gunesh not just across the line, but across and under, fully in a Japanese uniform for a second there.
Yeah. She just couldn't stop her momentum. She started sliding, and next thing you know, she's on her way.
That serve was short by Seiki. Tough serve, as requested. And that'll end a 6-1 run by Japan.
Yeah, it is the runs that can really be the death of a team in a set because it's so hard to climb back into when you've got a team that's so well matched like these two. If one team just gets that little bit of cushion, it becomes an uphill battle.
Back again. Wada. Seen a little more activity from her as of late.
I couldn't tell if Özbay was trying to get out of the way or trying to defend this. Didn't look like there was a touch at the net. She almost thought, hey, let me move out of the way, let it go out, but just such a rip, so quick.
Ishikawa's serve, no good.
I feel like this ball has to go in from Gunesh.
Kalac up front right now. She has 5 blocks today. There she goes. Ball is good. Another block. Vargas and Kalac combined.
And here's the thing. When the serve is going in and has a little bit of heat on it, the blockers are in a good place. This is a good blocking team. Türkiye have to allow themselves to use it.
So now we've seen error, a block, and another error. Türkiye climbing back in.
And that error is 100% forced by the blockers, taking away the space where the attacker wants to go. So she's looking for the real estate on the right side of the court that doesn't exist. Türkiye doing a good job.
Timeout, Japan.
Roll shot or not so strong cross, okay? You can play shorter ball. Okay, then you can try line. Okay, try to focus on pass. They serve mostly to 5. Okay, next one.
Not often we get to actually see the clipboard in the timeout, so I think you can see there Ferhat Akbaş asking his players, hey, you got a little roll shot right here, just behind the blockers, along the 3-meter line. Trying some different things.
And now we can see if it actually happens, because there's nothing more frustrating for a coach than pointing out something specific and having it not happen. So yes, we will sit in judgment on this one and see if it actually happens.
Yeah.
Aidi serving for Japan. Ball is good. Well passed. Vargas. She tries a little off speed.
And that was directly from Santarelli's timeout a few moments ago where he said, hey, I'm frustrated, guys. Why are we swinging into the block when that doesn't exist? Here's something you can do different, and that tip right behind, especially when the middle blocker is just served.
Seeing that familiar double sub As Erzdemir in. And it brings in Kara Utasu as well. Same sub that worked well for this Turkish team last time around.
Oh, that is pinpoint precision.
Substitution for Japan. The first time we are seeing Tsukasa, 24 years old, a setter. Bounce town out of the middle. Nobody loved it more than Orge.
Yeah, why not? A little bit of a libero middles love. I feel though sometimes liberos live vicariously through the attackers. She gets that first pass in perfectly. She wants to see her team take advantage of it.
The Bros know without them that middle attacker can't be successful, so it's mutual love, no question. That's just smart, Kara Utasu. It's hard to put a tip down on Japan.
It is, and that's why you've got to put it right behind the block. And this time, the blockers are a little inside, so it's even sharper. Because there's a bit of line available as well, she could have turned that down with heat. That's why the libero is hanging back, expecting a hard-driven ball.
That's right, and the block is so disciplined knowing not to reach back, right? Because their libero usually grabs it. Seki to Wada from the back court. There she goes.
Love that angle. Centrelli, not so much, because I think in his mind, he's thinking, I'd love to see a body on the floor for that. Make an effort for that defense. The thing is, Japan's missed a couple wide, so you don't want to reach for it and hope that it's in.
Yoshino Sato serving. Pass is good. Baladine, well covered by Kalac. Özdemir goes the other way. Japan's block dominating the rally so far. Fukudome sets. Wada! It's the block, the story of the match from Turkish point.
This is what's been working so well, but it all starts with the discipline to cover your hitters. Baladin almost caught off guard there, but you have to recycle and go again when you're playing a team like Japan to get yourself in situations to block.
Türkiye outblocking Japan 10-2. No hesitation, well done. Got away from Baladin, point Japan.
Art Santarelli over in the sideline. Last ball like this, I think he's lost his patience a little bit. He's got a bench he can look at. And if these balls are, I mean, it's a difficult situation for Baladin to swing there, but a few too many errors in a row, I think, from Santarelli's point of view.
He's watched his team close the gap and then let it expand again. Türkiye has not led in this set at all. They're now within 2. Kitamato serving. Trouble serve, well picked up. Baladin blocked. And Santarelli goes to his bench as discussed. Karakurt back in. First time since the first set.
Yeah, he's got some trade-offs to think about here, right? He's got a player like Baladin who's better at receiving. Karakurt maybe in that situation would handle it better in an out-of-system attack.
Expect Japan to go after Karakurt. They did not make the adjustment there. Made that dig look much easier than it was. Here she comes. Ball out, point Türkiye.
There's another advantage you get by bringing Karakurt in. Her height in that left side of the court. Now Japan are searching for some angles that they didn't have to before.
Kara Utasu. Whoa, laser serve. Kojima gets underneath it. Karakurt, her first swing since coming back in.
The other thing that can't go underestimated with a Karakurt, she's a player that wears her heart on her sleeve. So when she gets these big bang bang points, she's letting Japan know about it.
Kara Utasu, another laser serve. That one brought down on the Turkish side.
Güneş being tested with the speed there again. She kind of hangs in the middle, and then she's trying to reach to the outside. Gives a little bit of space between the net.
Seki's pass, well handled. Karakurt again. It was kind of tight and drifting the other way. And Karakurt is demanding a challenge. I didn't see it, did you?
You're right, not asking, demanding.
Yes.
It was hard to tell in real life, but she looks so convinced. I'm almost convinced.
And I'm not convinced, so let's see. You certainly don't want to demand a challenge if you're not sure. We'll give her that. But no challenge.
I mean, she's almost a foot above the block.
Yeah, I think emotions, you have to really, check your emotions since we have this great technology.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe she touched the block. Maybe her hand touched the block and she attributed that to thinking that they had touched the ball, but not the case.
Japan is out of substitutions. They do have 2 challenges remaining. Türkiye has 1 challenge remaining. They went after Karakurt and she had good vision.
And because Karakurt's so tall, she had to learn probably early on not to go after those balls, not to get sucked into trying to play that. If it's above your shoulder, even above your waist as a player like her, that's out.
Türkiye needs to make their move now. Ebru Karakurt at the service line. Seki. Block from Güneş. She almost starts to celebrate and then says, no, wait, this is Japan. They can pick anything up.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to turn around to your team until that ball is officially on the floor, but Güneş is so good through the middle. Japan need to move that ball around a little bit more. They've had some success from the pipe, but if Güneş doesn't have to take a step, that's where she's in her comfort zone.
Karakurt serve number 2 to tie it up. Seki back. What a dig. Orge starts that off. Jurek. Ball is good from Heidi.
Clever, patient swing. Güneş is there trying to close the air kick, but there's a little bit of space between the two, that kind of corridor between the blockers. And then again, swinging deep in the corner.
Lead back up to 2. Karakurt out. Again, planning to go after her and serve receive, no question. First serve goes to Baladin. She handles it beautifully. And Jurek. Now it's worth noting Türkiye is now also out of substitutions. So this is the teams that these set is going to finish with on both sides.
Yeah, Santarelli kind of banking on her reception being more important in this rotation.
Back. Can be chased. Baladin brings it back. Vargas makes a smart play over. Yoshino.
Watch the angle on this, and from out of system, over her shoulder, the defenders are there, but again, as soon as you have a middle blocker who's served, perfect place to put it.
Heidi serve. Tough pass, well brought back by Uzbay. Sent back. Through the middle by Ishikawa. Over dig. And finished by Japan. Lead now 3.
And the speed again starting to frustrate the Turkish block.
Okay. What I want is this, girls, because they are attacking me in this way. Deep here and deep here. We have to stay deep here and we have to defend these fucking balls. Okay, if you continue to stay here, we never defend this ball. They don't have possibility to attack over the block. They send the shot deep, and we have to do the same. The ball crossed the net, because to counter-attack, the ball was on 3 meters, and we give bagger. Close the net, the ball. Okay, bye.
I think that was heavily focused on that last defense that wasn't made by Türkiye. He's saying, look, they can't swing past the block. Just ignore that zone of the court. Move over a little bit. Make sure that, especially that zone 5, that are 2 receivers there that are ready to make a play on the ball. Defenders, not receivers, excuse me.
Heidi serving. Couple of tough passes consecutively by Orge. It's now set point Japan. Heidi serving for the set. Orge's pass is good. Back to Vargas. Blocked to end the set. Yoshino.
When Japan do defend things.
And a change at the libero position after those couple of overpasses at the end. It's Simge Akos, number 2, 34 years old. And there it is as it goes by her. And again, she is somebody who played in club for Fırat Akbas, so he knows her game. Akos, the best receiver in the Turkish Cup this season. Ishikawa's serve, handled by Baladin. Great dig. Wada, hard off hands. Akos slows it down, beautiful tempo. Your kick. Going for hands is Yoshino, no touch.
It was nice to see Türkiye try and use their own timing. This is the problem when you play up against a team like Japan and you kind of start to get rushed. You'll see teams try and add speed that they normally don't. Keep it your pace.
Seki through the middle. Great dig by Gunesh, as you point out, always going for the middle blocker. And Gunesh delivers.
And now Vargas having some success with different zones. That ball not perfectly where she wanted it. It's a little inside, but she gets there, makes the move, and is smart to go back down the line.
Gunesh to serve again. At Kojima, Heidi behind. Ball's got to go over, no problem. Again, recognizing there was no bro, reaching back. Outside. Oh. Zara Gunesh. Big digs, Wada. Off the block and out, point Japan.
Now, how about that middles defense from Gunesh in the backcourt? And you remember back in the last set, she was the one to go on that big run to get them a little bit of space when she was the one serving. So good for Japan to get her off the line.
Heidi Miyabe serve. Back again to Vargas. That was pretty. If you're Santarelli, more of that on the menu.
Yeah, Vargas, the out-of-system queen. Get her that ball high. She can reach up and go around the block.
What a pass by Kojima. Absorbing that heat and putting it in the setter's hands.
Yeah, that's the key on a serve like Vargas. You have to take all of the speed and the power out of the ball and just get it in the air so your setter can do something.
Great pass. Akos starts that off.
Again, Türkiye trying to find their own rhythm and do what they do best. One of those things, beating up Erkek on the outside. Great turn down the line to read and use the hand of the blocker.
Outside Yoshino. There's the pace. Didn't we hear that request from coach?
Yeah, you heard the blockers screaming. They saw that tipping hand early, and Kalac trying to be disciplined. Doesn't want to reach back, but it's Vargas back there. That's a good person to get on the floor if you're Japan.
Yoshino gets the ace to the sideline.
That zone of the court has been one of the weaker zones for Türkiye all match long. And that is just picture perfect on the line.
In the last set, we were tied up until 6s before Japan made their move, approaching net now. Looking similar to set 3 in the way this is starting. Kalach serving. And she will need to play defense, as we always point out, when there's no libero on the floor. They go right at her, as expected.
And the struggle for Kalach there, she's kind of crept in looking for that sharp angle, because if you remember the conversation from Santorelli saying, look, they can't hit that deep, the blockers are there, but this time Ishikawa going over the block.
Shimamura serve. They're keeping the ball on Akos, and she is crushing the passing perfectly. Shot after shot falling by Japan.
Japan are doing such a good job of changing up their shots, a lot of range. So you saw the little tip behind, then you saw the hard-driven ball back to the end line, then you're seeing the roll shot. So they're really keeping the defenders guessing.
A look that says everything by Orge. I feel like if there's an award for most expressive face, it goes to this man, Daniel Santorelli. He is on a roller coaster of emotions always.
Yeah, I saw him at the gym this morning. I know he already got his steps in, so I'd love his team to give him a bit of break there.
Going for hands and not happening. Tied up at 7s. That is critical for Türkiye because it felt like Japan was maybe going to start pulling away with their 2-point lead. Japan is going to request a challenge. Did it touch that big block between Gunesh and Vargas?
Well, physics would indicate yes. I didn't see in real time, so we'll have a look at it. But either way, Japan have been doing such a good job of pulling the strings when it comes to Türkiye's blockers right now. Oh, I don't think it is.
I don't think so either. No block touch. Look at those hands. Oh, those are huge hands, by the way.
Yeah, those middle blocking fingers as well by Gunesh. You can tell she's had an injury or two.
Yeah, the way they bend
joints,
it, yeah.
You'd rather they bend back than bend forward, though. At least less jams that way.
Fair point. There's by. Wada sent back with the block. Ishikawa sent back with the block with an exclamation point.
Türkiye would love to lean into this more and more. We haven't seen a lot of times in this set or even in the last set where Japan have gotten impatient and swung low. That's where Türkiye have the advantage.
Seki back to Wada. Akos sets Vargas off the block and out. And Türkiye starting to build a lead of their own.
Just putting a couple of points together. Vargas still swinging a little lower than she might like. Got a bit of luck there that Ishikawa didn't turn it back into the net, into the court.
Been a few service errors by Erzbay showing the frustration. Uh-oh. Control. Beautiful control.
Yeah, those overpasses usually come back a lot faster, and you see Jansu can't jump because she's backcourt. Vargas caught off guard with how soft that touch was.
But right then, handed back with an error, so tied it up, and then an error. Baladine will serve.
And neither team really taking control from the end line, and sometimes there's good misses. Those really aggressive ones that go out by an inch, but straight in the middle of the net, that's not a good miss. especially for a float serve.
A nice flat serve, Yoshino pass. Heidi. That's about as pretty an out-of-system set as you will get. Hande Baladin nails it. Yoshino off the block. Tied again.
When Erkek and Güneş go up together, that's one of the places that can be exploited, because look at the difference. Well, that one's just off Güneş, in fact, but I was going to say the difference in height can make a little bit of space and can form a seam.
Vargas. There she goes. That's what they've been looking for from her.
She's been much more effective in terms of offense in this set. She's already up to 4 points. She was quieter in the third. We barely even saw her.
Zeki to Heidi. Heidi is having a very big match today, coming through the middle for Japan.
Yeah, she's been doing it from the end line as well, and defensively, really well-rounded gameplay.
Passing is good. And there is Vargas.
Just catching the sideline. Beautiful finish from Vargas. Wasn't her full power or aggression, but precision.
Yeah, she's shown a few different speeds. Kojima brings it back in. Yoshino tries to finish. Hande Baladin, that's why she's in, is to make plays like that.
Huge defensive effort from Baladin in the backcourt. That's what Türkiye need to do. Fight fire with fire. Starts with a really tough serve there to get Kojima diving. But as soon as you can make that defensive layout the same way Japan is doing, you're giving yourself more opportunity to play.
And Vargas inspire a run from the service line. She's had several into the center of the net.
It all starts with the toss. That one looking a little low for her, so she's rushed in her approach. She loves that nice high toss that she can go up and get a full extension on her arm.
Wada's serve with pace. Great chase down by Uzbay. Cansu Uzbay, big run.
Saw how clean that ball came out of Özbay's hands. Perfectly in position. And there's the reaching back we talked about, especially on Japan's team. Someone's gonna be there.
Erkek serve down the line. Ishikawa, try to push through. Yoshino again, this time a rip. Back to Vargas. Vargas picks that ball up. What a beautiful Özbay. Ball has to go over. Over dig. Long rally. Back again, Shimamura goes head hunting from the right side. And immediately helps Vargas up.
That in-system play on Japan's side, it's almost impossible to defend. You see the middle blocker having to hang with the middle, becomes a one-on-one situation, and Vargas creeping in thinking it's gonna be low, short. Definitely was not. They're always going seam.
Türkiye is requesting a challenge. We're not sure for what yet. We will learn right along with the audience. The question is, did they reach beyond the net at some point. I don't recall that part of the play. That's the information we're getting. So it might take a second for them to look back and find this moment. We've been on a seesaw all set long. Here it is. Interfering, potentially. Were they interfering?
So
the crowd disagreeing vociferously with that. The question was errors by setting interfered with and across the net. The decision is made. Next play. Yoshino. That's an angry setter right there. Erzbai said, yes, she did.
Oh, I love when it gets a little fiery out there. I know it's probably already one of the craftier setters out there, and we haven't seen her pull that move out of the hat yet, so what a time to do it.
They made her do it. Yeah. That's from her point of view.
It was out of her control.
They made me do it. Response registered by Ishikawa.
Trying to have a look at where the blockers were. Gunesh closed up to her outside blocker, but there was just a lot of space to work with on that side.
Off the block, and Türkiye perhaps inspired by their fire, leading now 2 points in a must-win set. Japan leading this match 2-0.
Yeah, and look at the speed there coming from Jansu. She feeds that in with that space, and Ari has to follow her.
Trouble, out of system. Block is waiting for it. She goes inside of the block.
Santarelli is losing it on the sideline. He's saying, come on, somebody just has to sit in that defensive pocket. That ball's gone to the sideline maybe 3, 4, 5 times this match. Yes, they're changing it up every time, but force him to go somewhere else.
Akwas. Gunesh. And again, slowed by the block, picked up. Oh, what a second effort by Vargas, and it's Heidi out of the middle with the finish. Locked up again.
Huge effort by Vargas off of her own block to recycle it, but then it effectively becomes a free ball for Japan, and too many options available for Gunesh to cover.
Nanami Seki serving. Another good pass. Options available, Baladin. Fukodome back to Ishikawa. Wada. Japan takes the lead.
Spectacular defensive efforts on both sides, but it's Japan again who kind of look like they're in control. They are setting the tempo of every single rally, every single touch.
First lead in this set from Japan since 7-6. Bounce down by Vargas.
That one working well, mainly because the middle blocker had to hang with Gunesh. It's a good ball in. You know there's going to be a big space behind for Vargas to exploit.
Brought outside, Ishikawa off hands. Yeah, absolutely. Set Vargas over and over again. This is in her wheelhouse.
Yeah, and Vargas loves to be an outlet setter, or outlet set, I should say. But again, as soon as the Jansu has options, that's when the blockers, there's just too much to follow.
Wada. There's the power they needed to get out of that jam. We have been locked up all along the way in this set.
Gunesh's left hand ever so slightly late to press over. Gets exploited.
Melissa Vargas with 8 points in this set alone. Ishikawa and Wada combining for 9. Look for Vargas to get the ball over and over, and will Japan set away from her? Consecutive points by Türkiye, 2-point lead.
No stress, no rush. Remember, we want rallies. We want rallies. Okay, so now Zehra serves. She serves line most of the time. If she go 5 line, okay? Remember, she's at defense. You can push in front of her. Serve, push the limits for libero. Let's go.
Great point there by Ferhat Akbaş. Zehra is serving right now. This has to be a moment that you can exploit her in that backcourt, and especially in that zone 5 that's been working so well for Japan already. Push that ball in that direction. Japan already slowing down the momentum with the timeout, so on the Turkish side with a bit of moisture on the floor, that's the last thing they want to do, is slow down momentum on their own side.
Exactly. Santarelli deeply involved in wiping that up.
I don't think he's too cool.
What do you mean, too cool?
He's not too cool to help out.
Oh, no, not at all.
I don't know if we'd see Gerbic cleaning his own floor. Santarelli's not above it.
Kojima puts it right in the setter's hand, goes to Minami. It's still good. Second effort, Miyabi behind, sent back. Gunesh continues to deliver defensively. That's a tough ball. Vargas makes it work. Wada denied. Kalac and Erkek combined.
Kalac was a huge part of the defense in that second set. She had 4 blocks there, and this is what she can do when she gets in the right zone, really frustrate the attackers inside.
First believe. Change the goal. You can play closer, be quick, left and right side. Remember, if Mayo is free, we have also second line option. Girls, focus on pass. A pass is the solution, okay?
That is the final timeout for Japan in this set. Again, if Japan wins this set, they advance to the semifinals and will play for a medal. If Türkiye wins this set, we are going to 5. Door open. Two-point deficit for Japan. ID serving. She's already got an ace. Pass is tight but good. There's by beautiful set. Wada. Block is good. Is it on the line? It is.
Have another look at that.
That is not. It was a delayed call. Türkiye requests a timeout. Original call in, I think, kind of jumped the technology for a moment there waiting, and Bolt 6 showed it.
Lei still serve here, okay? Call the ball, put one look good parabola. I don't want the ball so in because she can be a little bit difficult. It's good 1 versus 1. Be smart, okay? Mile is the best in exclamative. You know very well what I want is that you attack so strong here, okay?
The slow motion HD that we have here in the Polish cameras is phenomenal. I feel like I'm on the court with them.
Yes.
I can almost feel the sweat.
Heidi serving to tie it up. Akaz. Vargas unloads.
Exactly as Santorelli drew it up. He said, hey, if you get the opportunity, I want you swinging hard here. And I thought I saw on his little notepad cross court to that other sideline, and that's exactly what she delivers.
Here again, we see the double substitution that Turkey has gone to. There's Demir coming into set, and Karautasu coming in to block and attack.
Service error plagues again. Set number 1, this was one of the big problems, was not getting the ball over the net. When your defense is playing the way it is, Turkey are blocking the way they are, just get that ball in play. Let them do what they're doing.
Yeah, it's tough. There's Demir just substituting in, maybe thinking about setting at that point rather than taking the breath. Kitamato serving to tie it up, set 4. Akaz, beautiful pass. There's Demir outside again. And indeed, they get the touch. Turkey 2 points away from pushing to a 5th set.
And you gotta appreciate the patience you saw on Turkey's side there. That first time it wasn't it. They recycle, they go again. They're getting themselves in good situations.
For the first time, we are seeing Salia Shaheen in. 26 years old, had 16 points versus China. She is number 6. Ace serve, well timed.
Look at the angle on that air kick, forcing the front court player to touch that ball.
For the set. Outside, Yoshino off the block.
Block in a good place, just that right arm of Kalac.
Set point number 2 for Turkey. Great serve, better pass. They do it. Turkey is able to force a 5th set off of Karautasu's kill.
The reverse flow early. Whoever comes out of the gates firing usually ends up on top.
Whoever wins this set plays for a medal. Whoever does not is done with their Volleyball Nations League experience this season. Back to Vargas. Play it back again and again.
Yeah, that is just rinse and repeat. And I like how Akos has stepped in and really stabilized this reception. Now you can see the blockers of Japan struggling to figure out where they should prioritize, and Vargas is just hitting that spot over and over.
Middle block.
Ishikawa is someone who's been really hot and cold all match long. Sometimes she's destroying the defense of Turkey, other times unforced errors.
It's going to take the craftiness of Japan in plays like that.
Yeah, and if it's not there to take a big swing, that's absolutely the moment to try and utilize an off-speed shot or catch the block on their way down.
The errors you talked about, can't give any like that. Block is good, Gunesh here. Good first touch, Vargas yet again. Chased down. Wada. Dug by Uzbay Akos, good set. Turned too much. Türkiye originally thinks there is a challenge, but the Santarelli turns to his coaches and they say, don't challenge it.
Ooh, that might have been worth a challenge. I see a little wiggle there.
Oh, gosh.
And the fans behind Santarelli are all making the move.
Time out, coach. No, there is time out, coach.
Now he's asking for a challenge.
Oh, I think Türkiye might be blaming the technology here, saying we pressed for a challenge, but actually timeout was called. There's a tablet there on the bench that you have to choose one or the other, and they're saying accidentally the wrong one was chosen.
Yellow card issued to Türkiye. So again, it does not work out in their favor. A little frustration, no doubt, from the players who asked for the challenge. ID serve. Vargas, it's tight ball, very tight ball, picked up. It's good. Vargas again. Gunesh. It's a free ball to Japan. Türkiye trying to outlast. It goes outside again. A couple of tough balls sent to Ercek's way. She handles them. And then finally dismissed by Shimamura.
Well, that rally didn't look like it was going to go Türkiye's way. You got to give credit for the defensive effort to try and keep elongating it. But at the end, Japan just looking too smooth.
Gunesh, simple up to the middle.
You felt like Türkiye had to get that point. They had to close that out because otherwise things start slipping in the wrong direction. After that call that they didn't like, there was a little discussion there. You can't get caught thinking about that for too long.
Gunesh, strong first serve. Wada. That's the thing, when Wada comes alive and starts getting crafty, she's tough to stop.
Yeah, probably better than anyone in court knows how to look for the hands and use them when the block is there, figuring out how to go just high enough that it's difficult to control as the blocker.
Wada 14 points, close to her average. Great pass to start things off. Block is huge. Huge, Shimamura and Yoshino.
That's a big momentum shifting block. That ball's inside. And Vargas has been having success with that cross-court shot all night long, but it's been from a higher point of contact. That's the difference. You can't get sucked into swinging down against this team.
Vargas, this time a little higher up. Wada again, blast through the block. Japan in the driver's seat.
Yeah, Wada's going off from the right side. And you see her change every time she swings. She's going a different direction. She looked deep in the corner last time. This time she's going down the line. Every time for a hand, though.
Wada again. Passing of Türkiye has been on the money. Defense of Japan. Yoshino. They are abusing the Turkish block. Timeout, Türkiye. Yukiko Wada with a service run. Was tied up at 4-all, 3-point run by Japan. What a serve too, a ripper. Balladine handles it. They're going out again and again to the outside. A little surprising not going to Vargas.
Well, you can't overfeed one player. I think that's always the moral of the story when you have a big player like Vargas. You can only go to that well so often. But that ball, I liked that it was high. I liked that it wasn't trying to force some speed. That's Japan's game. It's not necessarily Türkiye's, even when you have a player like Erkek.
Double sub again. Erzdemir needs to get this serve in, first of all, and she does. Karutasu up front. That ball, net violation against Erkek and Türkiye.
And here's the problem with just putting the ball in. It gets really frustrating and really difficult as a blocker. You're then playing catch up the whole time if that serve is not tough enough.
Yoshino. You can feel the aggression from Japan right now. Karutasu sends the ball out, and it is as if Japan can smell blood in the water, attacking at every front.
Yeah, it looks really tense on Türkiye's side right now. They're not swinging loose. They're not celebrating.
Yoshino's serve continuing. Blasting through the block, but picked up. There it is again, Yoshino. Big pickup from Wada. Karutasu has to keep that ball in. Shimamura. Ball down on the Turkish side. Japan continuing to roll 5 points away from playing for a Volleyball Nations League medal.
And they continue doing their style of volleyball, extending rallies and frustrating Türkiye.
If we give free ball in this way, we cannot go. Put the ball across the net and attack strong. Search and out here. Don't search this shot. I want high shot. First tempo and super in four. And then in defense, girls. Order on block and we fight in defense. We can do this, eh?
It just feels like for every point that Türkiye get, and you saw from that graphic, Japan are getting 2, 3, sometimes even 4, so they're just not able to side out quickly. Türkiye.
Substitution for Türkiye as Ebrar Karakurt comes in place of Erkek. Hande Balladine talking to Karakurt, no doubt saying, you take as little as you need to, I'll take the most.
Yeah.
Ball out.
I felt like Türkiye needed a break point there, at least something to get a little bit of momentum going, and I think you're exactly right. Talking about the space and who's gonna take what ball. Karakurt subbed right back out though.
Yeah, because Erkek in defensively.
Yeah.
Off hands, Erkek. Balladine got away from her, no touch. Japan +5.
Baladin's been struggling to find her rhythm offensively. She's been great in reception and in some defensive moments, but she just hasn't been able to get around that block and find a way to get it in.
And thus a substitution as Salia Shaheen back in. We saw her just a little bit in the fourth set. Shaheen, number 6. No doubt they will go after her with this serve, or at least should. They do. She delivers. Beautiful pass. Shaheen answering the bell.
Love that set. Nice and high. Kalac able to go up and get it over the block, because I'm looking at the offensive lineup right now. You don't have a Vargas. You don't have a Karakurt. There have to be people that are going to score on court for Türkiye.
Yeah, and Özdemir, the number 13, the setter that subbed in, doing a nice job working with her personnel. Pass is good. Oh, a dig. Shaheen takes a good swing. Here comes Wada. Oh my goodness, the defense on Türkiye's side. Change of pace, it's a free ball. Erkek. And finished. Karautasu, smoothest play we have seen by Türkiye.
And that's all about the defense. Türkiye have to really strap in and make sure they can pop some balls up. They did that 2-3 times in a row here, giving more opportunities to swing.
If you want, you can change the big quick. Middle will be slow, okay? So will be a small gap. Alexia can go left shoulder, pay attention. You can even play closer, okay? A quick. Short ball is also possible. Okay, so serve, drop serve, pay attention. Okay, on ball.
Well, 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 down by 3 is Türkiye. After a slower start to this set, they have come alive, but is it too little too late? Kalac serving, good serve. Outside. Between Kalac and Shaheen, frustration.
That spot has been frustrating Türkiye all night long, and there's 2 defenders sitting in it. But Ishikawa just so good at that wrist away, thumb down shot that 2 players just kind of look at each other.
Right, and not a seam that they usually have. I don't think Shaheen and Kalac play next to each other very often. Shaheen handles it well with the pass. Little balls, crafty, using your head to make that play.
Ishikawa and all of Japan's attackers have been pulling these strings all night long. The deep, hard-driven ball. Look at the defenders. They are back on the heels, digging in to get it up. And that short ball works.
Seki serve. They're keeping the ball on Shaheen. She's doing a beautiful job. Türkiye remains alive. Karautasu. Trailing by 4. Türkiye needs incredibly smooth play right now. There's only 1 substitution remaining for Türkiye. So they are keeping Karautasu and Özdemir. And Özdemir front court setter, and it is match point Japan. Japan on the precipice of playing for a Volleyball Nations League medal. Set point, Ishikawa serving. On match point, the ball is good. It's an ace by Ishikawa. Japan will advance to the semifinals.
Japan outlasting Türkiye, as is their strength as defensive players, but they were all offense on that 5th set. It could have gone either way, and we talked about that 5th set being a race to the finish line. Türkiye unable to play at the pace that Japan was sending them, and you just didn't see any errors on Türkiye's side in that, or in Japan's side on that 5th set, and that's what you get. That's the result.
Impressive performance by Japan in that fifth set. Got contributions from everybody, including this ace serve right in the coffin corner. Japan is semifinal bound.
And what a time to get an ace as well. It was only their second ace of the match. They weren't serving as their high priority. They were defending and outlasting Türkiye, but this is a Japan team that absolutely nobody can underestimate because it's so difficult to score a point on them.
In the fifth set, Shimimura 3 points, Ishikawa 3 points, Wada 3 points. Just balance and distribution caused Türkiye problems. Here's your final set statistics.
I'm looking at those errors. Türkiye in a fifth set, it's really tough to give up that many. 5 points handed to Japan on a platter, and they got 0 blocks to go with it, which means the serve was just not aggressive enough, and they couldn't back it up at the net.
So Japan will advance. They will play the winner of our next match, which is Brazil versus Germany. Very exciting time for Japan, who has only had 1 medal in Volleyball Nations League. It was a silver medal last year. As for Türkiye, their Volleyball Nations League trip is over. Cansu Erzbay standing by with Emily Eman.
Cansu, I know this wasn't the result that you wanted, but where have you seen this team grow the most throughout VNL?
I think we were doing good, but also Japan is a amazing team. They play so good, like sometimes we can understand where they attack from. But also like we had so much injuries and we were not all the time full team, and I think we fought today good. Of course, this is not our game and we don't accept to play like this. I hope we will do better in the World Championship.
A lot to look forward to, and a lot of fans in the building supporting your team. What does it mean to have so many fans in attendance?
Of course, we are so happy that they always support us and they are here for us. I really want to thank them that no matter what, they are always supporting us. I hope we will do better.
Thank you so much. Good luck in World Championships.
So the Sultans of the Net finish their 2025 Volleyball Nations League run. World Championships ahead for them. Emily Eman talking to setter Cansu Erzbay of Türkiye. And we can check in now with the setter from Japan, Nanami Seki, with Emily.
Nanami, that match was a battle. How was your team able to grind it out in the fifth set?
このフルセットを取ることに対しての勝利、いかがでしょうか、試合を振り返って。
いや本当にもう素直に嬉しいという気持ちです。すごく難しい試合になるというのは分かったんですけど、その中で自分たちのやることを出し切って勝てたということがすごく嬉しいです。
To be honest, she was really happy to win this important game. For sure, like we really know that it's gonna be like really tough game, but we try to focus on what we need to do on the court. We can push our best the things on the court actually.
This team will now compete for a VNL medal. What does that mean to you?
このチームでのメダルを獲得できるというチャンスがまた一つできましたけれども、このチームの状態いかがでしょうか。
すごくいい状態で臨めていると思います。あと2試合メダルをかけた試合ができるというチャンスを得たので、その試合をしっかり楽しんでいきたいなというふうに思います。
Actually, we have really good condition for sure, but we also have the chance to get a medal. Then we also try to push our best for the next game.
Thank you so much. Congrats on the win.
おめでとうございます。
Thank you so much.
We will see Japan again. We will see them on Saturday in the semifinals. Vargas, 23 points. This team will again reconvene and play in the World Championships in Thailand in August. But for now, they are headed home. Let's take a look at receiver accuracy before we go.
Yeah, I feel as though Turkey were doing a pretty good job of putting that in the hand of their setter. There were a few scattered balls out there, but those outer system plays can be handled well by Vargas on the right side. They just could not convert enough points and given up a few too many errors really when it counted. On the other side, Japan almost doing worse in their reception, which is not typical. They were struggling under that pressure from the Turkish serve when that serve was in. So that was the key, I think, for Türkiye.
Let's check in with Türkiye's coaching staff with Emily right after we take a look at our match schedule. Reminder that Japan will play the winner of our upcoming match, Brazil versus Germany. That'll be starting in an hour and 15 minutes from now. A 5-set win for Japan. Here's the road to the final. Italy and Poland, yesterday's two quarterfinal winners, will play against each other on Saturday, and then one more spot waiting to be filled. Will it be Brazil or Germany facing Japan in the semifinals? Let's check in now with Türkiye's coaching staff and Emily.
Coach, I know this wasn't the result that you wanted, but what made Japan such a tough opponent today?
First of all, congrats to Japan because they play very well on defense. They play like we know, like everybody knows. Japan is this kind of play, this kind of team. They fight a lot and they have a lot of quality on technical skills, and they lose us really few balls. We have to use our few opportunity to reach the goal, but we cannot today. Today we are angry. In this moment we are angry because we cannot speak about our win. We have to accept because Japan deserved this victory. And we are close. We were close, but not enough. And we have to come back in the gym, accept the result, and work harder to reach the more level, to grow up our skill, to continue to show our best in more time as long as possible. I don't know if it's correct.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck in World Championships.
Thank you.
It is absolutely correct, and we understand the message. Türkiye not happy with their performance today, but much to look forward to.
It's always difficult coming over and doing those interviews after a loss, and we always appreciate the players and the coaches, even just to give us a couple of words and a little bit of insight into what's going on their benches.
A little bit easier to do when you get the win, and Ferhat Akbas is with Emily.
Coach, what were you most proud of your team pulling out that win in the 5th set?
Not just 5th set, all the match. I'm really proud of my team. Not just in this match, all the matches I'm proud of my team. So we had a great job today. So this country is very special for me to play in Poland against my country with my national team. So a lot of emotions, but very good. This is the good part of sports, I think. So I just would like to congratulate all my players and staff.
Another proud moment, I know, for you, having your team compete for another VNL medal. What does that mean to you?
A lot, because in the beginning of the VNL, we didn't target to win a medal. Our target was just to improve our game, as I told in the beginning of the match. And our target was just to arrive in Poland. But now the targets are growing. We are last 4 team and there are 3 medals. So of course we will chase our medal, but in this current moment, in this season, the thing that we have to fight is just about our game. More than the medals, we need to improve our game.
Thank you, Coach. Congrats on the win.
You're welcome.